Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm doing another video in my Dear Moon sign series. This is Dear Moon in Pisces. So a couple things I want to talk about before I go any further in this video. First of all, hello, my name's Brandon. I do astrology videos on here. I also do videos about music, of me singing. I do language videos, I do the whole kind of gambit there. So if you were new to my channel, hi, welcome, subscribe, comment, do all the things that you know you're supposed to do with YouTube videos. So there's that. Moving forward, I did want to let you guys know, since this is an astrology video, I kind of have to preface it with this. But because astrology is a multifaceted sort of science and sort of methodology, there is a thing that you really need to pay attention to, and that is the fact that there's multiple things going on. So the moon sign is extremely important, extremely crucial to you as a person, and it's very, very personal to you, and it has a lot of meaning. But it is not the only planet and the only thing going on in your chart. There's, your ascendant, there's your sun sign, there's your houses that you have going on, there's your, aspects as well. So there's so many things going on in your chart besides your Pisces moon. So I want you to know that if the stuff I say in here doesn't really resonate exactly, that's because there is other things of your chart that are affecting your moon or other things differently. There's also, psychology, there's sociology, there's different things that affect you in different ways. Astrology is something that I have used personally for about 10 years or so, which is what I've used for my own self-awareness, and it's really helped me become a lot more grounded in who I am and understand where I'm coming from, what I need to do, where I need to go in life, and what the universe kind of set out for me to do. With that being said, I do want to let you guys know, if you are interested in doing an astrology reading with me, I have my video in the description down below that explains all the different chart readings that I do offer on my channel and things like that. Traditionally what they are is they're personalized videos where I will send the link only to you, of me just kind of talking about the things that you want me to talk about pertaining to each specific reading of what you're kind of looking for. So with that, what I typically do is I will do a consultation call as well, where I'll kind of speak to you, see what level of understanding you are astrologically speaking, and what terms you know, and if you're just a complete beginner, or if you're a little more advanced, I can go on and kind of speak about different things at different levels. So that's kind of why I'm doing that. But I always wanted to give back to the community. I've always wanted to be a person that learns, but then also teaches. There's a lot to be said for that, and I really love what I'm doing, and I love making content for you guys, making videos, just kind of teaching you guys stuff about astrology, because it's really fun to me. But yeah, so that's pretty much all of that. But let's get started with the actual moon in Pisces video. All right, so Dear Moon in Pisces. So you are the last sign of the zodiac wheel there. Pisces is the 12th sign. It is the kind of it's a very complex sign. It takes a lot of astrologers some time to kind of understand the Pisces energy and what it really means. So first of all, what I want to make sure you understand is that the moon is going to be your emotional nature, more personal, your inner life, what makes you feel emotionally secure, and how you emotionally react to things. That's really what is representative of the moon. It also represents the mother, represents how you take care of yourself as well, stuff like that. However, with it being in Pisces, there is some of an unstableness emotionally. There's some of a connection to the emotions that is very etheric and very out of this world, and a different way of connecting, right? So the moon being in any water sign, whether it's Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, is going to be much more emotionally charged. There's going to be much more feeling there. There's going to be much more openness to feeling, which can be good and can be bad. Having a Pisces moon, you're going to be a person that is going to kind of absorb the energy around you, absorb the different sorts of moods and things like that. Pisces moons, and any water moon for that matter, is very commonly empathic and able to kind of feel the emotions of an environment. They could get easily overwhelmed by certain energies in an environment and certain people. They can get they're very sensitive to energy, and the moon and Pisces are very intuitive people, very creative people. You're definitely a person that is going to be able to connect to something higher. That's really what Pisces is about. Pisces connects to something higher, not just in the mind, but in the actions and the way you live your life. So Pisces rules like religion and a connection to something higher, whether it's God or spirituality, something like that. A connection to some sort of divine guidance is what a moon in Pisces individual kind of has in their emotional nature. So Pisces is also a very caring sign. Because it's so empathetic, it's able to really connect to people and try and be everyone's therapist. So Moon in Pisces, if you haven't thought about doing therapy, I would recommend looking towards that direction as well. Any sort of emotional counseling or emotional coaching would be great. However, with that being said, you need to make sure that your emotions are, solid and sort of understood by yourself first, so that you don't ever influence somebody in a way of bias from your own emotions. So pretty much what that means is just have boundaries. Pisces and Neptune energy and 12th house energy as well is very difficult to have boundaries with. It's difficult to assert what is your emotion versus what is someone else's, and that takes a lot of time and a lot of patience and a lot of understanding on your own trauma, your own past, your own roots, to be able to have that emotionally aware conversation with somebody. And the thing I really want to let Pisces moons know, and any sort of water placement, you can only meet someone on the same level that they have met themselves. So if someone isn't as emotionally aware as you are of their triggers, of the way that they think, of their different coping mechanisms, you bring that up to them might not necessarily be something that they would get value from. You have to really meet people on their level and kind of work with that and be able to communicate to them at where they're at in that specific moment. Because being a Pisces moon, you tend to be in Pisces placement, tend to be a lot more mature emotionally than most people and most other signs. And it's very aware when you are very aware when you're communicating with people and interacting with people, what their energy is like and what their intentions are, and you can really feel into that. But there is an issue a lot of the times with boundaries and understanding where your energy stops and the other person starts, because you tend to just merge with people and become what people want. But you have to have your own sense of security and your own sense of understanding of the self to be able to then give back to the community, give back to your friends, your family, your loved ones, stuff like that. Thing I need to talk about with Moon and Pisces, any Pisces placement, drugs. Do not do drugs. If you do drugs, get away from it, because you have a very strong tendency to be addicted to something, to be addicted to drugs, or any sort of like escapist sort of thing. What I would recommend is try to transmute that into art and transmute that into some sort of creative outlet for you, because Pisces is a very creative sign. So whether it's drawing, painting, dancing, music, poetry might be something that's really, really helpful with you, especially if you got any like Virgo, Mercury, Gemini placements. And there's definitely a lot to be said of that, because Pisces placements can easily lose themselves, very easily, because their boundaries are so kind of weak sometimes, especially growing up. They're used to taking care of their loved ones, taking care of the people in their family, and being that caregiver, especially on the emotional side of it, that they don't really know what their identity is outside of that and what they are outside of being a caregiver. So it's a very, very interesting placement. Moon and Pisces, they're very interesting to try and approach sometimes, because they're so nebulous and they're so like chameleon-like. You can never really tell who they really are unless they really want you to see it. So that's a very Pisces 12th house thing, especially Moon and Pisces. Your relationship with your mother could be, or maternal figure, could be very distant and difficult. Your mother could have been an addict, could have been an alcoholic, something like that, which is difficult, to deal with, but it did make you the person you are and make you the caring soul that you are. Moon and Pisces just have a really big heart too. They really, really care. They can get swept under the water and really lose themselves and respond in a very negative emotional way. But overall, once they have that self-awareness, they can then rise and be a beacon of light for people and be a solid sort of support system, because opposite Pisces is the Virgo energy, which is very supportive, very grounded, very focused on what needs to get done. Emotionally, you can sit there and emotionally help people all day, but at the end of the day, if they're not meeting their goals and manifesting physically what they need to, because they're not putting the energy in because of whatever emotional things they have going on, you cannot always make them do that. You cannot be the self-sacrificer and expect other people to just reach and do what you're doing and have that drive. You have to have that drive first to show them that. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it. You can tell them exactly what they need to do, but they have to take the steps. So that's a really big Pisces lesson, especially with your personal relationships, your friends, your family, stuff like that. Make sure that you're able to understand that you have control over you. And the biggest thing to any sign, not just the moon in Pisces, but a big thing the moon in Pisces should understand is that you can only control how you react to things emotionally. You can't control the external circumstances. You can't control all this stuff. All you can control is how you react. So make sure you react in love. Make sure you have that time to reflect so that you understand exactly where you're coming from, why you're doing what you're doing, why you're saying what you're saying, why you are the way that you are in that relationship, and treat it accordingly. Have self-respect, have, these healthy boundaries, because Pisces, as I said, doesn't really have a strong sense of boundaries. So make sure you have those boundaries with other people, especially emotionally, because you have a great skill to be able to go into people, understand their emotions, and then come out and be able to say, okay, this is what you're feeling. But you have to have a very strong understanding of self to be able to not get lost in someone else and lost in someone's potential. So yeah, that's kind of my little rant about Moon and Pisces. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy Moon and Pisces video. I don't know why I said that. That's kind of weird. I don't really care. However, I love you guys. If you guys are interested in reading, as I said before, in the description box below, I have all of the chart readings that I do offer on my channel. So if you want to reach out to me on social media, if you want to reach out to me on Snapchat or whatever, or even on here, feel free, and then we can kind of discuss further with that. With that being said, I love you guys, my Moon and Pisces people, and I will see you guys later. All right, bye.